So your syllabus is going to be the most important thing that you could do. So okay, the it goes to that mission. So midterm is the opportunity for you to catch up on all of your um, assignments that you have missed or may have missed. So we usually review the syllabi in all your classes, review those because that's important at midterm because you may have missed some of the assignments. Okay, look at um, what do you see? The first thing on that syllabus again, what do you see? Unmute yourselves, someone chime in. What do you see, Miss Perez?
On the first page?
Yes.
See the name of the class, the mission.
Okay, the mission. You see the mission first. Okay, now, can you recite that without looking at it? Or do you have to learn it for another day?
Probably learn it for another day. I probably can recite it.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Miss Busby? What's going on? Can you recite that? Or do you have to wait for another day?
I can only recite the first part.
How many?
To graduate academically accomplished students.
Yes. So, and how many parts to the mission do we have at Philander Smith College?
3.
Very good. Very good. The second part, grounded as advocates for social justice. And the third part, determined to change the world for the better. So you'll learn those because you're going to see those again. You had them on your midterm, remember? Very well. Now, the second part, the 7 human timeless values of Philander Smith College. How many are there?
There are 7.
Very well. And service is the topic for this week. And what do we mean by service? You wrote very well on your midterm, but I wanted incorporated into your mind, your mentee. What do you mean by service? What do we mean by service?
Being a service to others, helping, being a person on the front line, like in the event that something is needed, or just to be on the front line to help at any time.
Yes. I really like what you all wrote on your papers, giving back to the community, giving back to the campus, committing hours of your time to volunteer to aid the community on campus or the community outside of the campus. I like that a lot, what you all were saying about that. We had a community track in the Christian community. Have they talked with you about that just yet?
A community track?
Yeah, the spiritual community, a Christian track.
I haven't heard of that.
Okay, there's a community track as well. There were 4 tracks. So they'll probably get in touch with you on those so that you will be familiar with that. What review, when are my office hours again?
So
it's on the first page.
Yeah, 7? No.
My appointment is on 12 p.m.
Yeah.
What time? 12? Very well. So that's when you're going to find out information about how you're doing, because we submit D and F grades at midterm. And you want to make certain you're not on that D and F list that will go home to your home address, and we'll post those. So I'll do that tomorrow. So you really want to you all don't have to worry about this. It's just my working students that I'm concerned about, because you all are here often. Okay, what you have your link to your student handbook, and you know how to get to your student handbook, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your student handbook, you'll be able to get to that, and you're going to apply and develop your critical thinking skills so that you're able to evaluate new ideas and have a critical mind. That's what we're trying to develop within you. Promote your higher expectations for your academic life, for your personal life, and to make good choices throughout your college career so that you will be ready for life. Okay? Now, let's get to those. You will understand your policies and your procedures and that. But there are about 8 assignments. And what can you name some of those 8 assignments with points by them? Because you have to review your syllabus.
The dream big, affirmation. I know your journal entries.
Look at page 2 or 3. 2 that flows over to 3.
Scavenger hunt.
Very good. Now, I sent you the information on the scavenger hunt. How many of you have Instagram or Twitter accounts?
I have Instagram.
Oh,
Instagram.
very well. So, what is the hashtag you're going to use? At PSC Hunt with Me 2020. At PSC Hunt. You see that in the 80 items that I sent you? You're not doing all 80 items. What items are you doing?
Doesn't it go by your last name? Or
Yes,
like
that's what the directions, your last name. So you said you're doing 41 through, I think you said 41 through 60, right?
I have to take a look back at it. I saw it. But
Okay, don't wait till the last. When is it due?
It's Friday.
Yeah,
It's Friday.
I thought you were going to do a little data snooping before. You're going to wait exactly to Friday, and you think you'll have them, all 20 of them done by Friday.
Oh, no, I'm not going to wait till Friday.
Okay. You see that, Miss Busby, the 80 items?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which ones do you have to do? You're in group 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Group 1 is 1 through 20. So yours is easy to remember. All right. And so you'll hashtag each one of those items. You do the first one, and then you'll hashtag that one. You do the second one, you hashtag, unless you want to combine some of them. All right. So that, and you see your grades that you're doing and which ones you're missing. What did you miss anything with your student handbook? You were able to pull that up and review section 1, and then becoming a philander man and a philander woman was a handout, and you were able to review that. Lecture on the United Methodist Church, its affiliation with Philander Smith College, the history of Philander Smith College. Social media, you understand your social media and the impact that it does have a footprint, and it can follow you for life. Be careful what you write on your social media. You wrote your autobiography, and those of you who got help with that one, you also did your Who Am I journal, You did your readings with your on-course textbook. And thank you all so much for signing up with that. And I liked what you did with your Jonah. Jonah. You, if you still need to
Now,
work,
now that's one that had to be turned in, or was it just discussion?
you're going to write. You're going to read the chapter. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. There are only 4 chapters in the book of Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to write your 2 to 3 paragraph reflection on what you read.
Okay, all right, well, I have that. I just didn't know if it was discussion for when we do our second Zoom. So I'll get that into you.
Yeah, we did discuss it. You're right. You have a great memory. We did discuss it. And then the students were going to go back and write on it. They were going to reread it and then write on it. And what is the topic? Uh, so you did the Who Am I? Let me see that next one, the next week. You got into your affirmation board. Oh, I really loved your affirmation boards. You all very critical thinkers and respect for yourself. You talked about abstaining from drugs and substance abuse, alcohol, and then you talked about your importance of your appearance and how physically fit that you need to become and watch out for the nutrition, making your body, looking out for your body, respect for self, and your mental health awareness. And make certain you plan those activities ahead of time. Don't wait until exams are due, assignments are due, and start working on them. They call that cramming for the information. You want to learn the information rather than cramming for the information. Isn't that right? You don't want to cram. Okay, then you spirituality, and you had those type of knowing who you are and your spiritual worth and your spiritual being. The to take time to connect with your religious or your spiritual beliefs. But you have to take that time. At Philander Smith College, we are part of the United Methodist Institution Church. And so on Thursday at 11 o'clock, no clubs can meet, no organizations can meet, no meetings taking place, no classes. It's you go to chapel at 11 a.m. That's our spirituality, and some of the chapels may have a twist to them and not necessarily fashion show. They may how to dress for success, career focus. Some of the chapels. So you, how many of you know how to dress for success?
I do.
Very well, very well. We're going to see if we open back up. When we open back up in the fall, we're going to see if you are a challenged student or you're pretty good. Okay, your journaling. They you focus on how to manage your conflict, how to manage your finances, how to make a budget, your interpersonal relationship. You respect all genders and sexuality, individuals. So that's what you are to you have been focusing on. Journaling about your inclusiveness. Now, how can I be more inclusive? You see that journal that started out for this week, yesterday. How can on the 7th, July 7th? How can I be more inclusive and accepting of others? How can I be more inclusive and accepting of others? So now you should be able to write at least 3 to 4 paragraphs on this. Now you've been writing 2 to 3. Now you're moving up. You're going to be able to actually get your writing under control. And that leads us to another one of yours, which is service. Okay. Thanks for joining us, Miss Rideout.
Hey.
How you doing? Okay. So now I have you down. There it is, Rideout. Okay. If you can give me some type of service items, what are some things that students can do on a college campus, or should be doing on a college campus, to demonstrate that they are doing service? What are some things? Name about 2 to 3 things that students can do. Yes.
One thing, they can take time out of like their schedule to commit to at least, I say, 2 to 5 hours of volunteerism at like on campus or somewhere in the community.
Okay. Well, we usually encourage students for the whole semester about 15 to 20 hours.
Okay, well, that works too, because they can do it on a daily or a weekly. Yeah, so that works.
Yeah. So they don't have to give a lot back, but they should at least commit 1 or 2 hours a week to social service, that type of involvement. And what they could even volunteer at the nearby community. Some of them volunteered to read to the students at the elementary school. Some of them volunteered at the daycare centers. Some of them volunteered for service to go out to the high school to teach young men how to tie ties. Isn't that interesting? And some of the ladies through our group volunteered to do some of the Dress for Success in the high schools as well. Service for the elderly, servers working. You can do some canned good collections, blood drives, all type of it. And then you go to the service service learning project. And hello? Okay. That say it again.
I said they can put care packets together, go to the food bank.
Oh, care package, food
go to the
bank.
homeless shelters.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. That's good. Now, the second part of it is that you have your social justice learning project. Go to the last page, because keep that food bank and that in mind that you mentioned, because it's going to spell it out to you on the last 2 pages of your syllabus. You see the autobiography and the positive affirmation board? You see that, Miss Rideout?
Mm-hmm.
It's your syllabus. Okay. Yeah. Someone, you see now go to the service learning project. Read that one. To become advocates for social justice. Read that.
To become advocates for social justice and to ground ourselves in changing the world for the better, it is imperative that the Landarians understand and employ the process of enacting service to their campus and community. In doing so, each class section will be assigned one timeless human values for which they will design a thorough campus campaign. Each class must break into 4 groups of 6 students, and each group will have a total of 20 minutes to present their campaigns as a final project on Monday, July 20th or Tuesday, July 21st. The campus campaigns must consist of all of the following: posted banners or flyers that keep the whole statement visible throughout the campus, and 2, creative hashtags and digital graphics, and 3, at least one fully planned campus activity. The section assignments are below.
That's good. So at least one fully planned campus activity. And so you were to choose 1 through 7. You're only doing 1 through 7. Which one will you choose? I think some of you have already emailed me that you chose number 1. But go ahead and email me number 6 and 7 if you want to.
Number 6.
You got number 6? Okay. What?
Yes,
Okay. Give me some more numbers. Which one you like, Miss Rideout, Miss Busby? Which one you like there?
I have picked
2. Okay. Got you there.
Okay, I might do 3 then.
Wait a minute.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Busby, you said 2, right? I got you. Okay, Rideout. Which one did you choose?
3.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I got you number 6 for service, Miss Paris. Okay, so number 3 is respect for PSC property. You think you can have some hashtags that would educate us to respect PSC property? Do you know that they are defacing Black Lives Matter? Yes.
Like covering it up with the paint, making
yes.
black paint instead of.
And then so they went on to hashtags do not destroy, all lives matters do not destroy Black Lives Matter. They created hashtags. What hashtags will you create for respect for PSC property? And where you live and chill, you know, in the residential life center, students live there and they chill there. What type of hashtags will you have there in the where they live at? What type of the learning environment over in the academic places where they take classes? You see that B under 3B? Where you learn? Where you learn? What type of hashtags you going to create there? Where you eat at in the cafeteria? Respect for the students used to throw. Well, one year they used to throw food, leave it on the table, and students didn't like that. So we started saying, what type of hashtags you're going to create in the cafeteria so that they learn to take their trays back and not leave them on the table. You see there where you pray at. What type of hashtag when they go to chapel? Students leave some of their chewing gum wrappers on the seats of the chapel. And so if we had hashtags to educate the students, if we had an activity, you had to do a hashtag, you had to do an activity, and what was that third one you had to do? In the directions?
A fully planned campus activity?
Yes. It was 3 things that you had to do. Okay? So that's what you are focusing in on. And when will you have that done? There's only 2 more weeks of school.
I don't know.
Only 2 more weeks of school. So you.
But what is it says? At least one fully planned campus activity. How can I make that an activity?
You're gonna put on a class assembly, I hope. Let me be quiet. I want this to come from you. I can tell you that Black Lives Matter because I just seeing how they did of one fully planned activity. They said we're going to have a rally. So we're going to have 2 rallies to educate the people about Black Lives Matter. They said we're going to meet at the Capitol, in every capital in the United States. They said we're going to meet at every city hall with people in the community where the mayors are. And we're going to have a rally. And we're going to have a protest. And we're going to have a march. All these activities that they had. And they pulled it off. Wouldn't you say they did a fairly good job with those activities?
Yes.
What activities are you going to do to pull off number 3, number 6, and number 2? I think you said, Ms. Buzz, number 2. What are you going to do? You got to come up with this. This got to come from your mind. Just as Black Lives Matter, it came from their minds. This has to come from you. And you don't need old school to tell you new ideas, do you? All right? You're going to be creative. And you're going to, one student, when they did the poster board, it was the electronic poster board. It was not an old school poster board. So they were able to send it out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and Snapchat. And it caught on because they put it on electronic poster boards. They didn't have to go old school with a paper pencil poster board. You see that? That's creative, isn't it? So you have to be creative and coming up with your service learning project. They are to learn about service through your project, through your activity. Okay?
Okay.
And you're going to be working on it day by day. You're going to do A in the morning. You're going to do B in the afternoon. You're going to do C the next day in the morning and D the next afternoon. You finish your project in 2 days because you planned, as we've been working and talking about. A, B, C, and D. And that's the draft. Your professor looked at it, looked at your draft in those 2 days, and your tutor from 7 to 10 looked at it, and you submitted it, and you got your 100 points because you were on point with your 100 points. You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. College is so easy when you plan. But when you don't plan to do A this afternoon and B the next day, you got to come up with the plan. Right? And that's what we've been talking about. That's what we've been practicing. Who am I? I am the person who starts my assignments on time. I am a person who does not procrastinate. I am a person who wakes up on time to go to classes. I'm a person who understands the importance of studying. Who are you? Who am I? You answered that question week 1 through your journal writing. And so if you haven't done that, you got to catch up because that's 20 of your points, 20 of your 100 points. And then the Bible, the Jonah, the book, is worth another 20 points. That's 40 points you've earned. And today's topic, talking about your inclusiveness, that's another 20 points. So that's 60 points. Next week, you'll have another 20 points. That's 80. And your last week, your last 20 points. So go and look at your syllabus. And about 8 of the students have already done all 5 of their, they didn't wait until the last 2 weeks. They looked at the syllabus and saw what the writings were and started writing on them, and they've completed them. They're working on their service learning project. So that's what they're doing. So that's pretty much the class. That's pretty much what they are doing. Uh, what is your journal on next week? What is your journal on next week?
It is. It will be. Wait. Let's see.
It's the 13th.
It's the journal entry for. No, that's the 9th.
You're on the 13th through.
Yeah.
Yes.
The homework journal entry is how can I incorporate service, spirituality, and leadership in my calendar experience.
That, and the students did a very good job on it so far. So you don't have to wait to do your assignments. These students, A students always read ahead in their syllabus in every class. And that's what you all are, A students, because you read ahead. And what is Friday the 10th of July, July 10th? What big assignment do you have for homework for Friday the July 10th? What big assignment?
Dream big.
Oh, dream big. And what do you think that is about?
Your future.
Yes.
It says your future.
Yes, that's exactly right. So, what do you want to become when you finish your degree? What do you want to become?
I like to be a clinical psychologist.
How are you going to get there? You're going to dream big. At this summer, I started out in the START program. I became acquainted with bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to your freshman year, the type of classes you're going to take in general education that's going to prepare you to become that. Then that summer, what are you going to do that summer? You're going to do a job, internship. What are you going to do? Then you're going to come back your sophomore year. You're going to get in clubs and organizations. What clubs and organizations that are going to prepare you to become that? Then you're going to talk about your GPA, what it should be, and what program you're going to do at the end of your sophomore year. Internships, jobs. What are you going to come back your junior year? You're going to stay into your apartment. You're going to stay in the dorm. You're going to get in more clubs.